what's up? Welcome to the First Issue Club comic book podcast. We're your weekly comic book reading club, and we're covering first issues to make it accessible for one and all.
For everybody.
Yeah, I guess. Who are you?
I'm Budget King. Do you think there's people that comic books aren't for? Is that going to be your hot take?
Haters. Haters probably don't like comic books.
Hey, who are you?
I'm Greg, notorious hater of haters. Who else doesn't like comic books? I would say,
Who doesn't like comic books?
Mennonites.
People that
no offense to the Mennonite community, but I'm sure they are busy doing other things.
I think
besides
people that
reading
are
comic
like
books.
cool and they're like comic books suck because they're for like nerds.
Oh, the people who like really hate superhero movies.
Right. Yeah, they're just into like
films.
like Turner Classics and stuff.
They watch the Maltese Falcon every day.
Films haven't gotten better since 1913.
How much do you guys love hearing the take that it's like these male power fantasies?
Oh yeah, it's like too broed out. I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
No, it isn't.
It doesn't
I'm
make
just
me
saying,
mad.
People say it like it's the first time you've ever heard that take, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, that's. I mean,
You ready
Well,
for this
it's-
hot take?
it's
kinda-
been that for like 80 years.
It's kind of being like, gum's got sugar in it. It's gonna rot your teeth. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I still like gum.
And while I accept the argument that these are like power fantasies played out for like teenagers and grown men, that the medium has transcended that.
It's shifted over the years.
Like,
yeah.
it's that people use the medium to tell different stories that aren't.
You ever heard of Watchmen? That's what I say to that guy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, milady.
You guys ever consider that like Die Hard
Is a
is
Christmas.
like a Christmas movie?
What?
When you guys first heard the news that the Queen had COVID, what was your initial thoughts?
I was about to take a shit, and I just like, oh, get that notification out of here. I need to get on
I didn't know this happened.
Twitter.
She's got it. She's been kissing the non-nobility all over England, and she finally got the COVID.
I guess that is the story. Is like even somebody as classy as the Queen,
Mm-hmm.
COVID takes no prisoners.
That's the ultimate,
Yeah. Finish your thought.
I totally blanked out. Equalizer.
Do you think people will still read comics after the Russian-American-Ukraine war?
I think it will be over in a few months.
You think so? Famous last words from Greg.
Oh yeah, no kidding. I think
money.
during war times and times of struggle is when artists really thrive,
Mm-hmm.
and I expect this period to be no different. And we'll probably see a lot of expression about
Superman coming back,
what's going on,
beating up the Russians.
yeah, politically within comics.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see Russians be the villains again in
Me
my
too.
comic books.
Yeah, DC.
Oh, they've been the villains for a while.
But it's been like they kind of quieted down. They're just like, oh, look, no big deal. Now Putin's just like, I want my people to be in the.
I am.
well, you're talking about in real life, because the whole MCU thing has always been like Russians have always been.
Well,
the bad
Hydra
guys.
is more like Nazi.
right.
So German.
Which
are
was-
you familiar how like Europe and Asia works?
We're laughing because we're scared.
This was a plot theme for a movie placed in the 40s?
What was?
Captain America and like Red Skull and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But now you're saying
Russians in the new movies.
now it's all Russia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
so,
you're confusing Bond with MCU.
Oh, maybe. Maybe I don't know what
It's
the
so
fuck I'm
easy to
talking
do.
about.
It's so easy to do.
I don't know. Gas prices are going to go up. Comic book prices are going to go up. Superman's going to have a big comeback. That's my prediction. Greg over here said it's going to be done in 2 days. So get at him on Twitter. Canceled. Canceled. Done.
Not days, months. Big difference.
No respect for human life, I guess.
I
What would you cut from your budget before comics?
Car. gas, child.
The first to go, the candy budget. That's about $50 a week. I gotta have my candy necklaces. Second would be my balloons.
Yep.
I always have to have a room full of balloons to run around in.
I could drink all water and eat stovetop for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I can give up my Sunny D.
yeah. So any like drinks outside of the water family.
That just comes from your faucet.
Yeah.
I will. You know what? I'll probably start doing if it gets real bad. I need to save for comics. I'll just steal sodas from my work fridge.
Oh yeah.
I'll bring like a backpack. I'm just like, oh, I'm doing extra work, and then I'll stay late, pack it full of Diet Cokes and Sprites, and take them home and use them as currency.
Free money.
Essentially, I mean, do they still give you cash for cans?
Oh yeah. I mean
I know they give you cash for clunkers.
If they
You're
don't, the
pouring
guy.
these out.
If they don't, the guy,
Yeah, I'm not even drinking them. I hate soda.
if they don't, the guy that goes through my recycling every Thursday needs to be updated.
No, is there really someone that does
I
that?
Oh
hate
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
That used to happen in my old neighborhood.
Is it a person that is being helpful and wants your cans, or is it someone who is displaced from a home that needs money?
Well, he has a truck and he doesn't leave a mess. He's got a respectful hustle. I see him out there and I'm like, damn, that dude's working.
But here's the thing. The one thing the city benefits from during recycling is cans.
Cans.
And instead of going to the city, your basically your donation to the city is going to this guy's pocket
Is being
personally.
hoodwinked right in front of you.
I think it's also illegal to take trash.
Probably.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean,
You could probably get that guy in trouble if you want.
you have to walk onto someone's property to get it.
Yeah. At my old house, the dude used to leave a mess.
Same. I felt so bad for the guys who picked up recycling every morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they knew this or if they just thought we put out a recycling bin and basically like let all the shit fall out on the street and sidewalk.
I've never had this problem before.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
You haven't lived in the real parts of the
Yeah, you
neighborhood.
haven't been in the mean streets of KC.
Yeah.
I used to live 3 blocks away from you,
Oh,
and in the same building as you.
in
Oh,
the fluffer
wait,
butter
you know what-
apartment, though.
You know what it really is you weren't recycling.
Oh hell no, no.
Everything in one giant trash bag.
Mother Earth.
A true collector. Who knows when they're going to print these Six Flag cans again?
Yeah, you gotta keep 'em mint.
I moved all my comics to the basement. It's a
Oh,
big-
whoa, whoa,
bad
whoa, whoa,
move.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Big update.
What's the atmosphere like down there?
I got a little moisturizing tester.
And
You finished your basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not like carpeted, but it is like,
walls and
yeah, there's like,
There are walls.
there are walls. You could do.
is there like a door or two?
Yeah. We got, and they're off the ground.
Uh-huh.
Temperature's like good.
Do you have a dehumidifier in
Yeah.
there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Two.
2. Well, I'm not worried anymore.
So.
We're finishing our basement too, and that's where my bad boys are going.
What do you think? You think still bad move?
I think it should be fine.
No, yeah.
It's temperature controlled, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're fine.
I'll get that dehumidifier blasting on 4s.
So wait, why did you move them?
Get another feng shui in my office. They were like really kind of boxing my office in, making like losing some space a little bit. And so
Were you ashamed?
no, and
Because I know you have to do more Zoom calls now.
yeah, so I more office. Need more office stuff. I was not ashamed. I would be proud to show these. The way that my wife required me to move my office around necessitated that I didn't dominate all the walls with comic books. So she was like, let's move it downstairs. And I was like, you know what you're asking? And she was worn out. She had to take a nap after we did it. Took 2 hours.
Why didn't you call either of us?
I wanted to see her. She needed to see what it actually means to move these around.
You know, that is something that no one that outside of collecting the comic books knows what it's like to move your collection around. From
Well, because
house to house.
every house we've moved, I've moved it myself. Because
I wouldn't let anyone else
Yeah.
touch my comic books moving. No way.
So there it is. There's a little comic book news for everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Box is full of paper. Heavy. The verdict's in.
Oh yeah, very heavy. That shit.
Detecting a note of sass in there.
Kettlebells, watch out.
You put enough thin things together in a small space.
Yeah, what
It becomes
turn-
one big thick
it
thing.
turns- Yes,
what
exactly.
weighs more, 50 pounds of kettlebells or 50 pounds of comic books? Most say comic books.
The mother's the doctor.
The ice cube, and that's how he hung himself.
Boy.
For a week full of news, we certainly filled up a bunch of actual news. This is the kind of shit people care about.
There's no news. There's no news. No news after this week. So,
At the time of recording.
we had to fill time. There could be all kinds of shit after today that we're going to completely miss. But as of right now, no news.
So let's get into our books. How about it?
The real books.
The real heroes of the show, comic books.
Real books. Okay. Let's start with Step by Bloody Step. This came out on Image, written by Simon Spurrier. It was a silent comic.
Yeah.
Takes.
Hold on. I love that we're calling it a silent comic. It was wordless.
Both.
I think that
Hang on,
word
did
works.
you say what books we're doing at the top?
No,
You're not going to do that?
It's in the title.
So
Look at your phone.
yeah, look at your phone.
Because this isn't a silent podcast.
Right, yeah. It's not wordless either.
Yep.
Spurrier, that's how he goes by now.
Do we know why?
why he changed? Why he went to Cy?
Yeah.
It's cooler.
He's credited
It
as
definitely is cooler.
I've seen him credited as Simon in a couple things.
That was
here and there.
old. That was-
Simon, cool name. Cy,
Yeah.
way cooler name.
Yeah, you win
This
you win a young.
This is like Dennis Hopeless and Dennis Hallam.
Exactly right.
He kind of goes back and forth still.
Dennis Hopeless sounds like a person that roller derbies. That's like a roller derby name.
It's a very rock and roll name. Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, cool.
I think the lead up says it all of what this comic book is. A girl wakes up, she can't talk, she has no memories, but she does have a giant.
I was wondering about the gender of that character. I didn't read anything,
Yeah.
and I couldn't tell if it was a little boy or a little girl.
You know what? I couldn't find anything on that either. There was some clothing towards the end that made me speculate that it was possibly a female presenting character. Like the greenish outfit had the vest that kind of looked like a brassiere or like kind of cut like that. So I don't know specifically.
Previews
Budget
called it
King
a girl.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Yes, I suppose.
This is Iron Giant, essentially, in
No, well,
prehistoric times.
I don't
or
think
weird fantasy world.
No, I mean I get the nod to Iron Giant for sure, but this is more like, for me, it was like those Tom and Jerry cartoons where the bulldog has to watch a baby that's running around the house
Yeah.
getting in
Yeah.
trouble.
Or
Right.
Baby's Day Out
Yeah, exactly.
with a dog.
Or Dunstan checks in or whatever. It's like this
Yeah.
big Goliath of a
Yeah.
character tending after this doddering little idiot of a baby that is just oblivious to everything while this monster just gets fucking shit canned
So-
for a whole issue.
So I think if this is a 4-issue comic, or
which is a bummer.
it is a bummer. I think if it weren't, and this got some heat, I think this would be a beloved. It's on track to be a beloved comic.
They're big double issues too, which is nice for a comic with
Yeah.
no text.
It
Yeah.
felt like I was reading it the entire time. I wasn't like, oh, this is a silent comic or a wordless comic.
Yeah.
When they do exert words, they are talking in like some like Atlantean language.
Alien language, yeah.
Of sorts. One of the coolest reveals is that you find out the monster is actually a mech being controlled by like a human, essentially, right? Because she sets down her helmet.
It's a giant in like a medieval coat of arms.
Got it. Okay. It is a giant, but it's like,
Yeah, it
because-
looks like a kid that's massive
Mm-hmm.
with like plants and shit growing out of its face.
Right. Yeah. And it almost resembled the child. Like the hair was kind of the
They
same.
look like they could be brother and sister.
Right.
definitely of the same elk.
Yeah, I was like, is that like a mom or a dad or like something? Like there's some kind of connection there, but I mean, I loved this book. I thought it was really great. One, I'm not very good at reading, so that was nice to not have any words to stumble over.
Yeah, you picked a weird podcast to center your life around.
But you know what? I've learned more words as we've gone along, so it's benefited me as well. This definitely had like Mobius feels to it. Like the alien worlds they were in were just so exotic and like just really nuanced. And even though there wasn't any words, it was like a completely fleshed out world with dynamic characters that you just could like infer so much about with. And it was amazing that they did it with no words at all.
I would give this comic book to anybody, and they would enjoy it. This is just a masterpiece of a comic.
Right. Like how earlier in the episode we said, who doesn't like comics? And we spouted,
Now
who didn't like comics?
we go find those people,
Give them this.
the person that's only watching Turner Classic Movies,
Bam.
and we say, hey, take this comic.
Love pictures, hate words? Check this out.
Yeah, and it's 3 more issues for you. It's independent. You're supporting, independent people like that. I think.
Yeah.
Did you have a take, Mike? Did you enjoy it? We covered.
Yeah, we
that.
were dominating. Sorry.
I did. Lots of sweet moments in the book. But we also feel that the relationship between the giant and the kid is a protective one. So one's looking after the other, is more worldly, understands more about what's going on.
We didn't really talk about that the young human girl got cut.
Yeah.
And the giant put the blood on his fingers and dipped his finger into the dirt.
Yeah.
And like a whole field of vegetation started to grow from it. So there's obviously something special about this child.
Yes.
And that setup leads to the villains of the story catching air of this giant.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, they come see this farmer and they're like, what the fuck is going on with your land?
Uh-huh.
And then they take him away on a magic vulture.
Yes.
And I'm assuming go to find the
You think this will be connected
large
to the other side, Spurrior?
Coda?
Yeah.
It's is it the same creative team?
I believe.
I think it is, because the art style looks very similar, but it's not World of Coda. I wouldn't think.
Yeah. If it was, bravo.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's his own separate thing, that's fine too.
It could be connected to the James Tunyon book. That's like the castle where he's queer, I think.
Wind?
Yeah, it felt like it could be adjacent to Wind somewhere.
This seems too brutal for Wind.
Okay, I just thought
Wind has some whimsy to it.
Image might be doing a thing where they're like, let's get our worlds together.
Let's connect all the
now that there's
universes.
crossover, let's just get it going.
Wind is Boom Studios.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
I'm an
wow.
idiot.
Cut it.
Oh, God. Don't cut it. Leave it on there. I let everybody
We
know.
leave our mistakes on the open floor.
Let them know I'm an idiot. Sorry, I know you listened to this show. We liked your book.
Loved it.
We loved it. A huge endorsement. I hope you sell a lot of 4-issue silent books because we certified First Issue Club Banger gave it an award.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, give us your address. We'll send you a plaque. Certified banger.
If you actually give us your fucking address, we'll send you a plaque. But
Yeah.
you might be a pussy and not do it. So
Who else did we try to send a plaque to? Mark Russell. Mark Russell won back-to-back picks of the week.
yeah.
And we added him, and he was like, "Oh, that's great," and he didn't give us his address,
us your fucking
probably for a
address.
good reason.
Oh, I want your address.
But now
It's a DM. It doesn't have to be public.
now we
Just-
have his plaques here, just collecting dust.
Piling up.
Yeah.
Spent good money on it.
We'll give Cy Mark Russell's
we'll-
plaque.
We'll cross out Mark Russell's name and put Cy Spurrior.
Yeah. All right, our next book,
Yeah, let's do it. Benjamin Percy's Ghost Rider.
Benjamin Percy writes a great rough and tumble male bro dominated Marvel book such as Wolverine. Now he dips his toes into Ghost Rider. We find Ghost Rider having crashed, having no memories of who he was, and the female Ghost Rider may be entering the scene.
A female Ghost Rider.
Say that again.
Explain.
Right? I mean, well, so we have a female protagonist. I don't know that she's going to be the Ghost Rider.
Okay.
She's the hero. Sorry. There's going to be a female hero in this book. I don't know-
What?
Right? Did you like the lady that's like throwing spiders?
Talia
Oh.
Warroad. It's a really silly name.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, it's Johnny Blaze. The guy he's working with in the shop is Crash.
Crash.
And then this new character's name is Talia Warroad.
Well, to me, she stole the show of the book. I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
she was barely in it.
I know, but she was very.
Throwing a spider at a secretary is a pretty baller move.
But they like.
I don't need an appointment. Spider.
Spider.
That was so funny.
So weird. Like, why did she have a spider with her?
It was a big one too.
They call me Spider Woman.
I'm not sure. I think we're supposed to take it that was a real spider, right?
Yeah. Spider.
She's certainly not keeping fake spiders in her pocket.
Spider-Man should take note.
Throw real spiders at people?
Don't web people. Grab a handful of spiders.
Right.
Somebody disrespects you when you're going on to your shield meeting. Spider them.
It sucks that Ant-Man can communicate with ants, but Spider-Man can't communicate with spiders.
Right.
Like, I feel like he could use that to his advantage in most of his adventures.
So this book kind of takes off the premise. If you've watched Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, like a similar thing happened in the comics where S.H.I.E.L.D. dissolved.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they kind of went underground, but a lot of the agents went to other places, got other jobs, a lot of them working at like the CIA, FBI, etc. And she's
Baskin-Robbins.
And she's one of those people who's used to like no rules, running and gunning on her own.
All the money.
Yeah, asking for tons of resources and always getting it because they're like a shadow government organization. So it's just cool to see her try to weed through the bureaucracy of
the red tape of the FBI, right?
I think CIA.
CIA, okay.
And she's like, they're like, who do you think you are? And she's like, I know exactly who I am. A monster hunter.
Right.
Very metal. She's wearing like a, what do you call it? Like a
choker?
Like a collar thing that's like metal studded.
Oh, yeah.
And has a nose ring and chopped black hair.
It says mama's little bitch on the tag.
She's that type of person.
Yeah. I don't break hearts. I eat them.
Which you don't see that often in comics.
Did you guys get...
No, you're right.
I get a little bit of like Swamp Thing, Animal Man ness from this book where it's like there's this like the red or the green was a big premise in those DC books where it's like there's this other spiritual realm that the humans aren't aware of
yeah.
or in, and then like that's gonna come be the realm that's like coming back and forth, and this is this like monster world of sorts, or and like the vengeance thing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we don't totally know what the story is behind this other realm. So the book essentially takes place in this dimension where Johnny Blaze thinks he's living the American dream.
Yeah, like in a Smallville.
Yeah, but he's having some trouble like keeping his shit together, and he's like seeing things hallucinating. And then you find out that the things he's hallucinating are real. He's trapped in some fake monster zone where they're putting on the facade of being friendly humans in small town USA to quell him and keep him like satiated, I guess, while monsters do their shit elsewhere.
They're definitely keeping Johnny from
doing
something.
We don't know. And
being the Ghost Rider, essentially, because those demons would have been probably taken care of by the Ghost Rider.
And the intention of the realm may be good. You know, Ghost Rider's a murderer.
But he murders for good.
Right. He's like Dexter.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah, a good call.
And he has this conversation, too, where he's like, I don't like being Ghost Rider. I
don't think anyone likes being Ghost Rider.
Did you know that Ghost Rider is like constantly in pain because he's like on fire? No, I mean
that makes sense.
But it kind of talked about like he was like how much pain it suffered for him to be, you know, the transformation. But it alluded that he's always feeling the burning.
Well, yeah, I think he's constantly feeling the suffering of the people in hell too. Like, it's not a great gig to be Ghost Rider.
I don't think he's physically feeling like he's on fire all the time.
No, yeah, it's like a punishment thing. It's like a, you know, wearing like a camel's hair or a cat of nine tails.
I know when he like
Camel's hair.
I know he like absorbs he like eats the sins basically.
Yeah.
Of
they're low carb.
But he feels that when he takes that on. And that's part of the anguish and load on him. You're saying physical heat, hot to touch.
Yeah.
He's constantly
He's
feeling. That was
constantly-
cleared up in this book.
He's constantly in pain, like a 3rd-degree like burn patient.
I didn't get that.
I filled.
Then he
in,
wouldn't be able to do anything.
I
He's got
filled
no nerve endings.
I filled in some gaps, but I
He's
think
a
that's
skeleton.
Like the old.
when Johnny Blaze is in
it's
the
like the
Ghost
same
Rider
premise as
form.
Hellraiser.
What? Oh, the pleasure is the pain?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So he likes it.
I think.
Oh, you're talking about the scene when he's seen the therapist and she turns into the demon.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, sometimes the pleasure comes from the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was just saying some demonic shit to be a demon.
Okay. Anyway, this is a shake 'em up on the Ghost Rider story, and it was really fun.
It was kind of more brutal than I thought it was going to be. There was that scene where he was like, the magician dude, like, kind of yanks him out of everything.
We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah,
There's some
this
sort of intruder on this realm who's like a warlock or something.
Yeah, but you think he's a bad guy, which, I mean, he seems pretty bad. He made a kid beat another kid with a bat.
But it was a monster kid.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So, like,
he knows they're not people.
so he's like, he's the one that, like, frees Johnny from his, like, fog of this Pleasantville area.
Yeah.
And so Johnny's just like, what have I missed? And the dude's like, here's all the shit you've missed while you've been in this, like, weird town. And it shows people, like, cut up and made into, like, totem poles and, like, being ripped apart by barbed wire. And, like, for a Marvel comic that's not under the Max
That's a good point.
publishing,
There was some gruesome
that shit
imagery.
was brutal.
Honestly, gave me Hellraiser vibes multiple times.
I get it. And that's
Yeah.
a great reference. Like, that 100%. And they lean into that. Kudos.
We love pain.
I really like Benjamin Percy, but sometimes I feel like he gets in a little bit of like bro writing mode
I agree with that.
of stuff that I've like read, and this felt like a really good fleshed out adventure story of like world.
Say that
Stuff.
to his face.
I'll say whatever I want to his fucking face.
You know what I'll say to Benjamin Percy's face? You, me, dinner, 7:00. I'm paying. I hope you like Italian.
He's got a big deep voice. He's very manly and attractive.
Yeah.
I would say nothing but compliments to
He's
his
like
face.
if Ron Swanson did sit-ups.
Oh, he is 100% the Nick Offerman of comic books.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All due respect, sir.
Yeah.
Please don't come to my house and beat me up. Come to my house and beat me up.
Listen to my whispers, not to my words.
Oh, I love that as a tagline for me. It was cool. It was a step in the right demonic direction for Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I like that it did that thing that we always say we like, where it made this like cool, intimate, small story where you saw a lot of like personal struggle
Yeah.
instead of being like, he's the king of hell. Like as cool as the last run was,
Oh, Ed Brisson.
where he ended up being the king of hell and all that stuff. It was like such a big, grandiose story pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Was that Johnny Blaze though, or was that Ketchum?
He was in it.
he was he was in it at some point.
There's too many Ghost Riders running around.
There are. Do you guys have the Robbie Reyes first appearance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tradmore
Mm-hmm.
book. I think that's worth some money.
It
still.
is.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And to stay on that point, I love it when there's a Ghost Rider that doesn't ride a motorcycle. Like Robbie Reyes has the car,
Right.
and there is like the living spirit of vengeance from like when it was like a Native American who rides a flaming horse,
Yeah.
which is pretty badass.
Mhm.
And so I would love to see different iterations or maybe different multiverse versions of like, I don't know, like a Ghost Rider that rides like a pogo stick that's on fire
Yeah.
or something
I
like
like
crazy
that.
like that.
What's that? Those things that are
Segway?
still really popular. Segway, yeah. Yeah.
Like a fanny pack with a demon in it?
Yeah. Rollerblading would be pretty
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
great. Unicycle.
Unicycle would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Marvel Legacy Ancients. There was one that rode a mammoth.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I think it's just like a fun way to depict different Ghost
They all
Riders.
need a mode of transportation. That's what they share in common.
They can't walk, which is funny. Like Like they need something to move them. They can't just like walk from place to place.
Vengeance won't wait for anybody.
I want a
You
Ghost
gotta get
Rider
there fast.
that has to depend on public transportation.
Oh, and it's always on fire.
Yes, like he gets onto the bus and it's just all on fire.
Just tapping his foot at a bus stop, like, let's go.
Oh god, I'm gonna be late.
Getting ride shares.
He's in the sidecar of a moped.
Like a biplane, like someone's buzzing him around.
One of those like city bike renta things.
Oh, one of those like beer things where everybody pedals.
Pedal bar.
Yeah.
Can we take a left here? No, sorry. It's not on the booze cruise. Has there ever been a Ghost Rider that has to use a ship? That'd be kind of cool. A
like,
flaming
yeah.
ship, like the Flying Dutchman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I had to say it like that,
I
but
could see
did.
that. Or a hovercraft of sorts. Maybe they're in the Everglades.
Ooh, a fan boat
Mm-hmm.
would be dope.
Fan boat Ghost Rider would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a redneck fan boat Ghost Rider. Look into my eyes, you son bitch. I'm going to clean you of your sins. Who am I? I'm the Ghost Rider.
I'm the damn spirit of vengeance.
Oh, so we're writing that comic, right?
Ah, damn, my fan's broken again.
Damnation!
You're supposed to be a magic fan.
In this scenario, Ghost Rider is an idiot.
Like this person got it by accident.
That's what I love.
God damn it! Jugboat got the spirit of vengeance in him.
He's jobless. He has 2 friends. He kind of works on cars.
He just drank the wrong bottle of moonshine and just like the spirit of vengeance.
We cross-eyed.
Yeah. Zee-wee! That's good shine. Why's my head on fire?
Why am I eternally in pain? But it's pleasure.
Yeah. Man, my sciatica's flaring up.
I love it.
Man, if I had genitals, they'd be hard as stones.
This food tastes bad. How great is that?
Oh, boy. Well, before we go,
Oh,
No,
okay.
yeah.
we have a couple things to.
Oh, shoot.
Get through.
Yes.
First of all, this episode is sponsored always and forever by Boulevard Brewing Company, Space Camper IPA. Yum, yum, give me some.
You're rocking the hat right now. You got
Yeah.
the Space Camper trucker cap with a couple cool pins on it. One for the Gigahop mascot and the other Space Camper Classic.
Yes, sir. Space Camper IPA. It'll blast you off into another dimension of taste and flavor, and it'll leave you satiated for days.
I mentioned a couple weeks ago that the variety packs are back. So if you like hoppy stuff, those Space Camper variety packs are really fun. Pick those up.
I recently found out that I've known that we've had a few fans of the show that live in Canada, and every time we mention Boulevard, they go,
No, we can't get
we
it.
can't get it. I go, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because I actually reached out to Boulevard. I was like, what's the deal with like mail and stuff? And they're like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way, shape, or form
Hey,
can
I'll
we do
take
that.
my fan boat up there.
Yeah, so now we have to like liquor run this up there like illegally.
Is this a sin? Bringing beer across borders?
Oh boy, I'm getting hot under the collar.
Not when your head's on fire.
I need to purge myself of sin.
Purge the sin. This weekend is March 6th, if you're hearing this episode, and we'll be at Cinderblock Brewing Company.
Yes, that's right.
Us and a
Cadre.
yes, of different local podcasts.
Uh-huh.
Who the Hell's This For? Debates on Tap, Nightmare Junkhead. We'll be competing in a virtual Mario Golf event to benefit Kansas City Hope House. Boulevard has graciously given us a raffle prize of free beer for a year,
Yep.
which is great.
And a
We-
PlayStation 4
Yeah,
Pro
Yes, we will be giving away the PlayStation 4 Pro.
given us to us by Boulevard.
Yes, but they gave it to us to give away. So
Yes.
technically, it's from First Issue Club.
Yeah, we'll take the credit.
Other
It's like
gift-
it's like when your dad gives you money to put in the
to buy a gift for your mom.
or the donation tray at church. It's like
Yeah.
that was actually from me. My
Yeah.
my hands were the last ones that touched it.
Hey God, this one's from me.
Yeah, remember me at the pearly gates.
Hey God, remember when I gave you that $5 bill?
That was from me. I could have put it in my pocket.
What a
Just
bit.
Paying your way into heaven. March 6th, Cinder Block Brewing Company. If you live in the Kansas City area, hope to see you there. If you want to donate to the Kansas City Hope House, DM us if you want to Venmo us some money to do that.
Shout out to my
To-
sister that did that.
Oh yeah, that's great. She gave $1,000.
Yep, minus a couple zeros, but now she's good for it. You hear that, Charlotte? You down for a thou?
Can we put you down for a thou, Shar?
Yeah, 1K.
You guys are loving abbreviating things.
Oh
1K, a thou, Char.
If you want more of this goofiness, head over to the Patreon, which we're going to record now. Also join us on the Discord and all other social media outlets. Until then,
Sayonara. First Issue Club is brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company via Space Camper Cosmic IPA. Our music is courtesy of the fine folks at Primary Color Music. You can find, friend, and follow us on social media at First Issue Club or firstissueclub.com. You can support First Issue Club by joining us on our Patreon for additional content at patreon.com/firstissue.